We've tracked down Sean Birks, head coach of the Audubon Wheelers. Coach, how you feeling about your team after seeing them in the live action for the first time this year?
Pretty good. Early on, I was more than a little worried defensively. We put a lot of new stuff in defensively for the year on really short notice. We were down 5 days, really. We didn't get a camp this year. I don't know who the new AD is, but he decided to schedule the week 0 game a little late. I was trying to be nice, trying to help teams that couldn't fill schedules. But luckily, East Mills was in the same boat. But as far as evaluating ourselves, you could tell we were a little rusty. We weren't quite ready, but that was the hand we were dealt. But I think we got better tonight than we would have just practicing ourselves. So hopefully we can use that as a tool. There's a lot of room for improvement, which is exciting considering it was a 35-point win over a really good team.
You knew coming in that their connection of Schaefer to Dyson was going to be a handful, and that certainly was showing early that those two guys were having a great chemistry. How did you approach that throughout the rest of the game to try and keep that under wraps?
I think the biggest adjustment we finally made was getting to that two-man front, whether it was Tanner Peterson, Eric Hermanson, Luke Mazinski, two of those three guys primarily, putting some pressure on them. Anytime you can get pressure with a two-man front, you're getting an extra body in coverage. Then we could put some extra eyes towards Dyson, but they still made plays. Then they dropped the screen pass. They had some really nice stuff with you start keying on one guy and all of a sudden someone else gets you. So we knew they'd get some points. We weren't really excited to let them score that quickly early on. 5 lead changes kind of back and forth, but our guys responded to some adversity really well. Early on I was a little worried. It's kind of our topic of discussion last Monday was how are we going to respond to adversity because it's going to strike often this year with as tough as our schedule is. Guys were getting a little chippy early, just feisty, just first game out and some first game jitters, but they really settled in really well, started picking each other up even in that second quarter when things weren't going great. So really, really impressed with our guys' leadership tonight as well.
Skylar Schultes goes for Adam down 275 yards rushing, and I don't know if you could ever have a quiet 275, but until he had a 55-yarder at the end, there weren't any huge runs, but certainly a good night for your quarterback.
Yeah, I wouldn't have guessed it was that many either. Coming into the game, we were trying to get some different guys, some different touches, all preseason long. When we got into game film prep, there were some things we really liked out of the quarterback run game. That's why we tried to run Gavin a few times in there and try to mix some things up with Cluckies and so on. But when it comes down to it, you got to have your playmakers make plays. But going forward, we hope to maybe take some of that load off. But if Skylar can handle it, we'll let him go because. You'd be stupid not to ride him as long as you can, but hopefully we can keep him healthy all year because he's a special weapon for us.
It's not often that we talk about playoffs in a week 0 setting, but the new setup now, second year of it with the RPI, this was a really important win in that regard.
Yeah, we found out firsthand last year what it's like to dig out of a hole with a non-conference, non-district loss early in the year. We started 1-0, dropped the next 2, with a non-district and then the district opener. So we had 2 losses on our schedule, and we knew we were going to have to run the table to try to sneak in, and we almost did it, but week 9 we stubbed our toe. So when we get to film prep this week, we don't have to, motivation for the week, you don't have to look very far. Last year we started 1-0, we dropped the next 2, we missed the playoffs. So, and these guys are really, really good. Remsen didn't lose a single guy off a really talented team last year that went 6-3. They're 2 years removed from the Dome. They played in a loaded district last year. Newell Fonda, Arweva made the playoffs, but there were probably 2 or 3 other teams that very easily could have been top 6 team material. West Bend Mallard, Kingsley Pearson, themselves. You go right down the list. Harris Lake Park even. It's a really tough district. Northwest Iowa always has tough football. And we got to go on the road to their place to a team has everybody back. So I know they were here scouting tonight, as I would have if I were in their shoes. So they're going to have some stuff up their sleeves for us. We're going to have to be ready for a battle from the get-go.
All right, last thing, Coach, just in a concise manner, biggest positive and biggest thing you still need to work on to take away from tonight?
Biggest positive is probably the way we shuffled guys around and they handled different responsibilities tonight. You saw different guys in different positions. For us to be playing a week 0 game with guys that are comfortable playing multiple spots, offensively, defensively. Braden Wessel tonight played all over the field. Who's not even a starter. He played some corner. He played some safety. He played some wing back. He played some slot receiver. He played some wide out, some X or Z, so to speak. He even played quarterback there at the end of the JV. And then there's many guys like that. Marcus Olson, played some wide receiver, some tight end, played some D end, played some linebacker, played some safety. So for our guys to do as many things as we do, we have a lot of coverages, we have a lot of different things defensively. Offensively, we have a lot of different formations and plays and motions and such. So for our guys to come out week 0 and be able to run run as many things as we did tonight, and so many of those guys that do them at different spots, that's not easy. And I think people kind of forget as tough, as much mentally as we have to prepare for these guys, and our guys do an outstanding job with what we've got. As far as the negative or room for improvement, I think the biggest room for improvement is to keep guys in front of us defensively. We still let guys get behind us early on. One play score, we let that happen early last year too, and it just, for whatever reason, we got to get that figured out. And then there were a few other plays where we let guys get behind us. A couple of them we got lucky that they didn't connect on, so they could have had a few more explosive plays. We really have to force teams to march the football down the field. 3-4 yard completions, a 2 or 3 yard run. We can't let them crack off explosive plays. And I thought you could see that tonight when we made them piece together third down conversions and march the field. Eventually, the drive fizzled out for the most part. So hopefully we can keep making teams do that, but it's going to be tough with the schedule we play.
Thank you, Coach.
Appreciate it. Thanks for coming tonight.